What about Lord Humongous, who I think is also wrestled once upon a time as Jeff Van Camp out of Gulf Breeze, Florida, about 300 pounds, 6'5", trained by Jerry Lawler. What do you remember about Lord Humongous?
Now they brought him from Memphis. Jerry came up with the gimmick for him, and the guy was really impressive and a nice guy. I mean, he was tall and big. He had the hockey mask on, and
Looked like
from
Jason. Yeah, of
yes, he did. And him and his wife came down to Pensacola, and they fell in love with the place. And
course.
he had a run there. After I left, he was still there for a while, I think. But his wife was very disenchanted with the wrestling business. She didn't like the fact that he was gone all the time. Even working there, you were driving somewhere. So it was not the early evening hours, 6 days a week, were not available to her. And I don't think that she liked the business very much. That's the story we got. And he kind of told me that on a couple of trips. I told him, trying to cheer him on and, hey, you're doing good, man. You're a big bastard. And, you're doing good out there every night and all that stuff, and trying to encourage him. He said, yeah, but Arn, my wife doesn't like the business. So, I don't know how long I'm going to be doing this. He ended up going into law enforcement and went way up the ranks to like a captain or something right under chief of police down in Gulf Breeze,
Wow.
Pensacola Police Department. So he had a full career in law enforcement. I don't remember the exact rank, but it was something like a captain or a major or something. So, that place grows on you, Conrad. If you ever, going to change residences, and that Pensacola Destin area is sweet.
Yeah, we've been obsessed with looking down there for the last year and a half. We ultimately wound up with a lake house for now, but yeah, I think long term, be hard to beat Pensacola Beach.
I could turn Megan into a beach bum without a whole lot of work. I bet you.
Oh, she's all about it. It's a matter of businesses and kids and whatnot. But one day, you'll be back on the 18th. This time working with Pork Chop Cash and going to a draw. But by November 5th of '84, you're still working with Mr. Olympia. This time it's a no contest. So it's a heated issue with you guys. But let's take a time out and talk about Pork Chop Cash. I mentioned him a little earlier. We haven't spent a lot of time talking about him. It's a fantastic wrestling name. And I'm sure that some of our younger listeners have no idea who we're even talking about. Catch us up on all things Pork Chop Cash.
Well, I think I remember about him is he had a lot of charisma, and he was much in the vein of Thunderbolt Patterson, but a bigger, thicker guy.
Yeah.
And he had that rap. Tennessee was kind of, I think, where his roots were from. So he had that style. He was an entertainer. He was not a world class Ricky Steamboat technician, but he had that swagger to him, and he looked, upper body was big, and he had a good rap, and he was a great middle of the card guy.
By the way, he would inspire Floyd Womack, the former Seahawk out of Mississippi State, who was drafted in the 4th round back in '01. His mom would refer to him as Pork Chop because she thought he looked like Pork Chop Cash. But Floyd Womack, or AKA Pork Chop Womack, continued the pork chop legacy. How about that?
Wow. So he had really influenced one life for sure.
Absolutely.
It's always a good feel good story to hear that.
No doubt about